Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Jets.
EA Sports coverage of the National League is on the air. Tonight,
it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy.
As it'll be the champion New York Jets taking out the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys.
Whoa.
The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And off we go to wrap up a great Sunday of football. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a man undrafted out of Boise State, the nephew of a Super Bowl MVP. It's Brett Rippon.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
Looking to throw on first down is Rippon, eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
Now Rippon on 1st and 10. Steps away. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They're going to go play action here with Rippon. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Micah Parsons just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Rippon to pass. And he's got his man on the out route. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And You know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now, but maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head? Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Demetric Felton, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. Pushing his way through. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick-6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And that ball incomplete. He couldn't work free from his defender, and now it's 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Here comes Reed. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now rip it. Flushed out right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw it is Rippett. On the move to his left. And that is incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
Flush to his right. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do. Extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
They toss it down to Pollard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. On the return is Reed. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Felton again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, Felton. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They'll roll him out right. Caught. It's Wilson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Off play action, it's Rippon. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the interception, here's Prescott. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the 1st down. Throwing, Prescott. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Here's Prescott. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And New York set to take the field. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ferguson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Steps away to his left. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. To throw is Prescott. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Now Prescott. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's scooped up. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. McPherson on for the point after. And it's 21-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did him a world of... Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to bring up second down. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. Oh, some strong running. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field.
Well, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
Now 2nd and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Felton. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Rippin on 1st and 10.
That's caught by Marquez Callaway.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Here's Rippin. That's taken in by Callaway. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Demetric Felton.
His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Jets are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now Prescott.
That's dumped off to Pollard.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception.
Picked up by DJ Reed. Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. Now a handoff up the middle. Felton.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 73 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's a give up the middle. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Demetric Felton
with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Jets are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage with this Super Bowl. McPherson now point.
This one was over. They just add on their big lead. So that drive in 5 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard. The Jets kick team out now to boot this away. Here's Cooks on the return.
Taking it about the 1. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. They'll set up a throw.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. Prescott now from the 50.
He finds his man, Pollard.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get set.
From the 42-yard line, here's second and a yard.
Prescott yet again. Up here complete. And that's going to be another first made at the Jets 30. Wilson as he looks to throw.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Dak's got this one complete to Pollard.
And he'll go down at the 28. Get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw again. Touchdown, Cowboys!
Jake Ferguson,
28 yards.
and the fourth quarter. Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. This is DJ Reed returning.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field.
And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
And check down, complete to Hall.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now 2nd and 9.
Now a give right side. Felton. There he goes right side.
He may go.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
And he returns this to the 22.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they they have to officiate block and charge.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
On 1st down, Felton fights through, and now a crease.
163 yards rushing for him now to this point.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down.
Now back to throw. Being chased out left. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Evades the tackler, and now some space. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that will bring up 2nd down. And the New York Jets have won the Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy will be in the Big Apple. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.